It's patch, well, it's actually post-patch day. It's the day after patch, which means a patch happened and things broke. That's right. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that broke, some of the things that are now enabled, what you can do, and your new...
break this wall. My only option is to let Arthas clap
well,
my
maybe
cheeks.
the option's not to let Arthas clap your cheeks, but instead play one of the new meta classes. That's right. We have a new updated tier list here for the DPS, tanking, and healing post the patch updates. So we're going to dive straight in here. Let's talk about some of this stuff. First of all, if you were doing world quests, that's right. Maybe you dove into some world quests after the patch was done, servers were back up. Well, maybe that wasn't a good idea because it looks like the patch kind of broke that shit. So lots of gold rewards taken off the map, lots of world quests broken. Evidently, someone in chat said the final boss and Prior to the Sacred Flames was also broken. So it's a typical patch day, and wow, here we got some shit that's not working correctly. Blizzard will probably end up coming back and fixing this stuff, but I think some of the world quests are still down as of right now. So we'll see if that stuff gets patched in. But for now, hey, it's a patch day. Shit broke. What can I say? Some of the things that got updated that you might not know about. You have Pit of Sauron, Skyreach, and Algathar Academy. Those dungeons were previously taken down for like a maintenance or whatever it is, and now they're back up. So now you can actually do these dungeons once again on normal difficulty. But not only that, some new loot has been added to their tables. We got some decor items added to the loot tables from the final bosses of each of these dungeons. We have a Algathar Academy, nice little bookcase here, so that's a nice little Dragonflight-esque bookcase. The Pit of Sauron adds a little death, I don't know, what do you want to call this, Death Knighty boy looking thing. And then Skyreach gives you a nice little table here with a cloth on it so you can goon on it. I don't know what that is. But anyways, some new decor items for you there that you can collect from these dungeons if you're into that kind of stuff. Also, Dragonflight raids are now fully soloable. That's right. They have been converted over to the new Legacy loot mode, right? So this happens every time an expansion moves 2 expansions back. Now, technically, we're in Midnight, which means Dragonflight is 2 expansions ago, which means now they have entered Legacy loot mode. What does that mean? It means all the bosses don't hit necessarily as hard. Your damage is upped a little bit in these dungeons now, or these dungeons and raids, I should say. And you can go back to the raids now and collect all the loot, a full Gruthswarp of loot, even though you're in that raid by yourself. So being able to farm a lot of these things, going back, you can get yourself that badass, Owlboy mount. That's something you can go get now, give yourself a better chance at getting that. As well as some of these reigns of the Quantum Courser, right? This one is the one that can change into other mounts from the Chrono Lord Dios in the Dawn of the Infinite. That's one that you can go chase down and maybe get a mount that you've been chasing for a while because this thing transforms into other mounts. Razageth, you can go get the Razageth look, the Sakareth look, right, from your little Highland Dragon transformation stuff, or your Proto Drake transformation stuff, and then Sakareth dropping his little transformation as well. So some cool stuff to be had, and yes, Legacy loot means the raid should be a little bit easier, although if you're a fresh 80, it's still going to be a little bit difficult for you to be able to solo these raids, but going in and getting some loot should be a good time. Also, patch hit, which means all the classes have been redone in their final form for Midnight. Now, of course, these classes could change again during Midnight, but what this means is we now know what our classes are going to play like, at least in the beginning of the expansion here, which means you might want to adjust your talents. That's right, so adjusting your talents could be a thing today. A lot of the classes, every class got changes today, I should say. And here are your best talent builds on the Wowhead article. I always like to mention this one. Copy it and paste it in the chat. It should be linked down below as well. You can easily just copy any of these builds by clicking these buttons and copying it into the game and using the best talent build as is ranked out by Wowhead. So go ahead and adjust your talents for the new builds that we got heading into Midnight and test out your classes. They might play a little bit different going into today as they were previous to this patch going live. So go run some dungeons, test out your classes in these weeks leading up to Midnight. Also, a new thing released by Blizzard here in terms of nameplates. They actually released some strings of code that you can use to adjust some of your nameplate, what's it called, like the aesthetics. So players can now adjust and scale their nameplates via this simplified code line. So you can copy and paste this code line in and use a 15% to 100% scaler as well on this little value plugin here. So typing in the value that you want to scale up your nameplates. Also, another new feature, you can enable class colors, as you see right here, class colors on the names. So without having friendly, full-on plates, but you could still have the color class color built into the name itself by copying this little value of code here, enabling it with a 1 in the value slot and a 0 to disable it. So try that if you want. There's some directions here on how to do it. Again, this is from Blizzard. This ain't some way to break the game or something. Some people are saying it's not fully working yet. I'll copy and paste this in the chat and down below the YouTube video as well if you want to use this code. But if you want colored nameplates, class-based colored nameplates, I should say, then go ahead and do this. That's what it looks like. You see the Druid one, Death Knight, and the Monk one right there. And if you want to scale up these boys a little bit bigger, right, make them extra large, because everyone likes being extra large and in charge, you can go ahead and do that as well via these codes. So, hey, a nice little nameplate adjustment there for y'all. Okay, moving on to what people are here for. We got tier lists, boys. We got updated tier lists based on the changes. And first off, we're looking at our tanks, okay? So right now, we have some movement and some adjustments. Brewmaster, evidently, looking like a possible meta tank now post these changes, along with Vengeance Demon Hunter. So Brewmaster, a big mover up, and Vengeance Demon Hunter, those are kind of your S-tier tanks for now. We'll see how it all plays out. A+ rankings here, we have Guardian Druid moving up into the A+ ranking, and Protection Paladin. Previously possibly a meta, now down in A+ tier. And then below that, we have Prot Warrior and Blood DK sitting in the A tier. Yeah, Blood DK is last. I knew people were going to love to see that shit. People love to kick a Samiccus when he's down. Blood DK is all I play, so everyone's eating this shit up. But here's the thing, it's an A. So what this tier list is basically saying is there isn't a huge difference. Nobody has completely fallen off. All the tanks are super viable. They're all in A tier to A+ and S tier right now. So yeah, A is the new F. Yeah, maybe. But anyways, with a skilled player like myself, I enjoy a challenge. I don't want to see my class be meta. I'm going to make my class the meta. That's right. So we're going to keep playing Blood DK no matter what, no matter where it ranks on these lists, because pure skill is always going to overpower any tier list. So I'll keep playing Blood DK. All right, moving on to the rankings for healers. That's right, and we see some big movement here. Restoration Druid is looking more and more like it's going to be the meta healer going all the way through midnight. They're just doing great right now. They're pumping. Their AoE heals and Mythic Plus are absolutely fantastic, and their dot heals on the it's just a good healer right now. Really good healer. So A means ass, yeah. A+ tier, we got Holy Paladin moving up. They're the only class currently sitting for healers in A+ tier. Below them, we got Discipline Priest, Mistweaver Monk, who moved up a little bit, and Restoration Shaman. Those have sat there for a little while. So Restoration Shaman, don't forget, the only healing class that can interrupt now. So that's a little bonus for them, even though they're sitting in the A tier here. Some people want to run I've seen some meta, runs maybe want to bring them in for potential interruptions. So there you go with that one.
Another Death Knight.
Clyde, thank you so much for the sub, man. Death Knight of our Scourge. You guys are coming in hot and fast with these subs. Thank you so much for the prime, man. I appreciate that. Besides that, we got B tier, Holy Priest, and then C tier, Preservation Evoker. I don't know how Evokers are going to feel this entire expansion, but right now, I don't know. I don't know if they're sitting in the best spot. We'll look at them here in the DPS list as well in a second, but healing-wise, they're down at C tier at the very bottom. Okay, speaking of DPS, let's check the one that probably most people care about and talk a little bit about where everyone's sitting in the movement, the DPS chart. That's right. And we do have a lot of movement here. You see a lot of up and down arrows. That means a lot of classes have been readjusted on this list post these changes. So first off, S tier, Arcane Mage and Demonology Warlock sitting at the very top, looking pretty at the top right now post all these changes. Good for them. Yeah, Demonology Warlock, Arcane Warlock, and Mage, where we went through a video just not too long ago, some of the safest classes to always pick up because one of their specs is almost always sitting at the top there in any expansion. So there you go. That still holds true. A+ tier. We have some movement here. Up, Unholy Death Knight is up. Devour Demon Hunter also up. Devour Demon Hunter had its up and downs big time during a lot of this adjustment heading into midnight, but now it looks like they're sitting here as one of the best DPS classes in the game. So I expected that. I don't think Blizzard likes to release a new class and have it hit like a fucking limp noodle. So, of course, Devour Demon Hunter moving up quite a lot post these changes. Augmentation Evoker. Not bad. Down a little bit, but still sitting in A+ tier. So it looks like some Evoker specs are in fact viable heading into midnight. We have Survival Hunter up quite a bit as well. Survival Hunter has been one that I've seen a lot and a lot of comments on a lot of my videos as people are just having so much fun playing Survival Demon Hunter. I swear, people are loving it. Everybody keeps talking about how Survival is going to be their main. They're enjoying the way Survival plays a lot right now. Survival got a lot of reworks before this patch, and now with these adjustments post this patch, they're hitting really good. So A+ tier, if you haven't tried Survival and you were thinking about it, I would say based on a lot of comments I've seen, give it a try. Beneath that, we've got Frost Mage down a little bit. That's our second Mage spec. So you got Mage sitting in A+ and S tier. Devastation Evoker also. So you got 2 Evoker specs sitting in A+ tier. That's pretty good for Evoker. So I talked a little bit of shit about them when I saw their healing spec down, but it looks like their DPS specs are doing pretty good here in Midnight. And then Affliction Warlock down a little bit, but still sitting in the A+ tier. Down into A tier, we got Marksmanship Hunter up a little bit, so they're sitting at the top of A tier. Elemental Shaman down, but still in A tier. Feral Druid, furry class that I've talked a lot of shit about during the War Within. I kept saying, where are the ferals? I don't see any ferals playing this game right now. It looks like ferals moved up a little bit. They're sitting in A tier now. So Feral Druid finally viable again. Maybe that looks good. Balanced Druid also. So Druid looking pretty mid to upper mid right now in terms of DPS across the board. Balanced Druid also sitting up here. And then we saw Resto Druid, obviously the best healing class in the game. So Druids right now, they're eating pretty good. Enhancement Shaman just behind them. Outlaw Rogue, Shadow Priest, and then Ass Rogue. So we're seeing our first Rogue specs here in A tier, 2 of them. So Rogue is also one of those classes. Typically, they have 1 spec that's pretty damn hitting pretty damn good. It looks like right now they've got 2 that are pretty upper mid. So that's good for Rogue. I'm sure Rogue wants to see sitting up at the top here with Arcane and with Mages and Warlocks. But for now, they're sitting nice. They're sitting pretty, I guess. Beneath them, we also see Sub-Titty Rogue. So honestly, Rogue right now, it's like 3 in a row. Looks like all the Rogue specs are all sitting around each other in the middle of this list. So I guess play whatever Rogue spec you want. They're all kind of hitting the same, it looks like. Survival is not a true hunter. You could have your opinion on that, but people love the way they're playing right now. Frost DK is just behind Sub-Titty Rogue here in B tier. We also see Retribution Paladin here, the most played class spec in the game, as always, but Retribution up a little bit, so looking better for them. Windwalker Monk down a little bit, but still in B tier. Destro Warlock moving itself up into B tier, and then Beast Mastery Hunter. Previously, honestly, heading into Midnight, Beast Mastery was hitting like a fucking freight train. And then they kept getting nerfed, kept getting nerfed. It looks like it's the final round of nerfs did them down into B tier now. So we'll see if Beast Mastery returns to glory, but for now, they're sitting down here in the B tier. And then we're heading into C tier now. Arms Warrior, our first Warrior spec, DPS spec here, sitting in C tier. That's a tough one, man. It looks like Warrior DPS just isn't hitting very hard right now in Midnight. So we got Arms Warrior down here. Havoc Demon Hunter moved up into C tier, and then we got Fire Mage sitting down here as well. So for Mage specs, it looks like it's Frost or Arcane if you really want to hit hard. Me personally, I always enjoyed playing Fire Mage the most of the 3 when I used to play Mage. So sad to see Fire all the way down here. And then Unsure, you got the Furry Warriors down here. So Warrior sitting in a weird spot, honestly, in terms of DPS, kind of low. So we'll see what happens with them. This is your updated tier list, though. This thing will not change for a little while. I'm not expecting any real big class changes until maybe the next major patch at Midnight, which won't be for a little while. So this is currently where everybody's sitting. And remember, these rankings are based on Mythic Plus. So this is Mythic Plus rankings. This is not Raid. But Raid rankings, a lot of times they kind of rank out somewhat similar to these. Fury Warrior feels great. Well, that's good. If it feels good, then play it. There's the thing about these lists, right? I mean, you could look at these lists all day and parse out and do all this shit, or you can just play whatever the fuck you want and have fun. That's also a good way to play the game. It is a game after all, so having fun is part of the game. Yeah. Blood DK is not a true DK. Ridiculous comment, Tidewell. Sub-Rogue feels great. Good. Good. I'm glad it feels great. Look, if any of these classes feel really good, then play it. Enjoy it. Play the game, have fun in the game. That's what matters at the end of the day. Like I said, it's a game. And for now, that is all really in terms of news.